The supervisor right here. Talk with him.
Okay.
Sit down.
Did you see him punch me in the face?
Yes, I struck you in the face.
Not.
Huh?
Put your feet in, sit down, and
Can
we'll
I
talk.
talk to you?
Sit down there.
You follow what he says, and then we'll talk.
He punched me in the face, bro. You see it in my eye.
I did hit you. That's what I did.
Yeah, you did. That's
down.
not more.
What happens when a police body camera captures the exact moment two law enforcement careers begin to unravel? Today, we're about to witness it firsthand. Before we begin, I want to make one thing absolutely clear. I'm not a practicing attorney, and nothing in this video should be considered legal advice. However, I've spent years studying constitutional law, criminal procedure, and the legal standards that govern police conduct in the United States. And the case you're about to see demands that level of careful, evidence-based analysis. At the center of this incident are Sergeant Wolf Lipson and Officer Robert Anderson, two officers whose careers ultimately came crashing down because of what their own body cameras recorded. But the real question here isn't simply, what did they do wrong? The deeper question is far more important. What does the law actually require from police officers in moments like these? Where are the constitutional limits? And what happens when those limits are crossed? To truly understand encounters like this, we have to examine them through the lens of the Fourth Amendment, Supreme Court rulings such as Graham versus Connor, and the use of force laws that officers are sworn to follow. That's the difference between emotional reactions and informed analysis grounded in legal reality. As we go through this footage together, we'll break down each decision in real time, applying the same legal standards courts and investigators use when evaluating police conduct. Some moments may shock you. Others may confirm suspicions you already had. But by the end of this video, you'll have a clear, fact-based understanding of how two careers came to an end, and why the footage itself became impossible to ignore. If you enjoy deep dives into bodycam footage, constitutional law, and real-world police encounters, make sure to subscribe and join us for more analyses like this.
Hey, let me see your hands. Get on the ground right now. Get on the ground right now. Lay on your belly.
Put your hands behind your back.
X-ray 11 has one in custody.
What you think you were doing on my ride, homie?
Huh?
That's my ride.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
My bad, bro.
No, it ain't you, bad. It's you, dog.
Huh? I got confused with...
You ain't got confused or nothing. You wanted something that didn't belong to you.
No, I thought it was a different truck.
That's a cop's ride.
What?
That's a cop's ride if you touch it.
Whoa, man, take it easy.
No, I'm not taking it easy. Shut up.
You, man.
Shut up.
Hey! You...
Shut up.
What? What are you gonna do about it?
That's my ride, man.
What are you gonna do about it?
Hey, what's your dog's name?
Desna. He just hit me in the face.
Come here.
You guys have camcorders on?
Yep, the recorder's on.
Okay. You wanna hit me again?
Sit.
So I'm gonna file a lawsuit.
You sure can.
Yeah.
Get up.
Nope, I can't get up.
Stand up.
I can't.
Stand up. I got you. Stand up.
I can't.
Stand up.
Bro, I can't.
Stand up.
I have trouble, bro. I'm having trouble breathing. Oh my god.
Stand up. I'm leaning up against the truck. Lean up.
Okay.
There you go.
Don't.
Stand right there. There you go. Turn around. Turn around.
You're squeezing my...
Can you do that,
You
Coach?
punched me in the face, bro. What's your problem?
That's my vehicle.
Yeah, but you're gonna punch me in the face, bro. What's wrong with you? I got some sort of... Is that what you are?
There you go.
I'm not sitting down until I got a supervisor.
You supervisor right there?
I'm the supervisor.
No, I'm not sitting down until I talk to the supervisor.
Sit down.
And immediately, wait a second. Did he just hold on? I need you to really pay attention to what we just witnessed. The officer secures the suspect, takes him to the ground, gets his hands behind his back. Up to that point, the procedure appears standard. But then everything changes. "What you think you were doing on my ride, homie?" That statement alone tells us a lot about the tone and mindset behind this encounter. Professionalism begins to disappear, and emotion starts taking over. And in police interactions, that shift can have serious legal consequences. Now watch this next moment very carefully, because this is where the situation becomes legally critical. The suspect is already handcuffed. He's on the ground. He's restrained. The immediate threat appears to be over. And then the officer strikes him directly in the face. Pause right there. Under Graham versus Connor, the landmark Supreme Court decision that governs use of force cases in the United States, every officer's actions are measured against the standard of objective reasonableness. In simple terms, the law asks one central question: would another reasonable officer, facing the exact same circumstances, believe this level of force was necessary? The court specifically instructed that 3 factors must be considered: the severity of the alleged crime, whether the suspect poses an immediate threat, and whether the suspect is actively resisting arrest or attempting to flee. But here's the problem. At this moment in the footage, the suspect is already restrained. He's handcuffed. He's pinned to the ground. The immediate threat appears neutralized. Then listen closely to the exchange that follows. The suspect says, "You just punched me in the face." And the officer responds, "Yeah, I did hit you. That's what I did." That's not a denial. That's an acknowledgement, captured on body camera. And then comes another moment that makes this footage even more significant. The suspect asks, "You guys have camcorders on?" The answer is yes. Every second of this interaction is being documented in real time. At this point, the body camera is no longer just recording an arrest. It may be recording evidence. Let's keep watching, because this encounter is only beginning to escalate.
Supervisor, right here. Talk with him.
Okay.
Sit down.
Did you see him punch me in the face?
Yes, I
No,
struck
I
you in the
did
face.
not.
Huh?
Put your feet in, sit down, and
Can
we'll
I
talk.
talk to you?
We'll talk
Sit
in a
down there.
sec. You follow what he says, and then we'll talk.
He punched me in the face, bro. You see it in my
Yeah,
eye.
I did hit you. That's what I did.
Yeah, you did. That's
Sit down.
not moral.
Sit down.
Put your feet
Put
in
your feet
there,
in.
and sit down.
That's not. You're gonna close the door,
Yes,
though.
sir.
Get seatbelt them in.
That's moral. Immoral, bro. Bunk.
No.
You're aren't you? Just a aren't you? That's what you are, huh?
Turn around.
That's
Turn
what you
around.
are. What?
Turn around. Thank you
What?
very much. Turn around.
What? What?
Turn around.
What? What are you gonna do?
Are you done?
What are you gonna
Are
do?
you done?
You're gonna call me.
Are you
What are
done?
you gonna do? You're just.
Are you done, sir?
You're. Are you gonna assault me again? You're gonna assault me again?
Now we're
And
beginning
now
to
we're-
see something far more serious unfold. Did you catch that moment? The suspect is already in custody. He's handcuffed. He's restrained. And Officer Anderson openly admits on camera, "Yeah, I did hit you. That's what I did." That statement matters, legally, professionally, and constitutionally. Let's break down the framework here. Under Washington state law, specifically RCW 9A 16020, law enforcement officers are permitted to use force only when it is reasonably necessary to make an arrest, prevent an escape, or protect themselves or others. And that one word, necessary, is absolutely critical. Because here's where the situation becomes deeply problematic. Think about the sequence of events we just witnessed. The suspect is already detained. He's in handcuffs. Officers have control of the scene. He's being placed into the patrol vehicle. So the obvious legal question becomes, what legitimate necessity remained for striking him at that point? The arrest had already been completed. The suspect was restrained. Any immediate threat appears to have been neutralized. And there's another layer here that cannot be ignored. This incident allegedly involved Officer Anderson's personal vehicle being broken into. Anyone can understand the emotional reaction that might create. Frustration is human. Anger is human. But the law does not allow officers to turn personal emotions into physical punishment while acting under official authority. Because the moment force stops being about lawful control and starts becoming personal retaliation, the situation changes entirely. That's no longer professional policing. That's vengeance carried out behind a badge. The suspect repeatedly says, "That's immoral." And while morality and legality are not always the same thing, there are moments when they overlap in a very dangerous way. When force shifts from necessary restraint to punitive action, that's when constitutional boundaries may be crossed. And honestly, what concerns me most is not just what we've already seen, it's what appears to happen next. Because based on the direction of this encounter, there are serious questions about whether proper procedures and departmental protocols continue to be followed from this point forward. Let's keep watching, because this situation is escalating fast.
X-ray 22 Western. We're code 4 now, one in custody.
Dang it!
Well, that hasn't happened here before. X-ray Western MIC. Let's,
We're gonna hold the dog.
yes, please.
Who's this?
This dog belongs to this gentleman here. Yeah, take a minute. I'm going to deal with this guy. Let's see. Gillingham dealt with him before. Do we have ID on him yet?
All this stuff is there on the floor.
Okay.
What's the head made? His head?
His head, yeah.
Can you stop doing that, please?
No, because that officer, he hit me in the face.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
We're gonna need to seatbelt you in.
No. No, I'm not letting that cat. Are you?
Enough.
Can't have you slamming your head.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
You're yelling.
Help! Help me!
You're yelling.
I can't breathe.
You are yelling.
I
No
can't.
one's pressing
No one's
on
pressing
your
at all.
torso.
The
You're
officer
yelling.
punched me in the face.
Yes, I did.
My collarbone. It hurts. I got a lot of health issues. I'm on methadone.
Okay.
I can die.
Do you need medical at all, sir?
I might because of the way you got me to the ground.
Can you roll aid, please?
We'll get medical on you so they can check you out, sir.
You it's on camera. You paid. You're not supposed to
Complaining
do
of
that.
a broken collarbone. Male
You're not
in
supposed
his 20s or 30s, conscious and
You're
breathing.
not supposed to do
We're
that.
gonna have to get another agency to come out here for this one.
You're not supposed to do that, man.
11, can you also get
You! You!
So I'm on your legs,
Okay.
and I'm on your butt.
Can you get a belly again?
Okay, I'm not on your torso.
Okay.
And I want you to take a deep breath,
Okay.
and I want you to relax.
Okay, I'm trying to with that guy, the black guy.
Just one of their patrol units
He
to help
wasn't
take this case here.
I understand.
excessive force,
I
right?
understand.
And you guys don't believe him. You don't believe me.
What's your dog's name again?
Desna.
Desma?
Desna.
Can't hear you.
Desna.
Desna. Okay, thank you. He has his ID.
Can you get in there?
In his Bodycam.
You hit me. It's on your body cam.
Yes, and I admitted to it too. You know what? Don't be stealing from my ride, man.
Huh?
That's my vehicle you broke into. I ain't too happy about
All right,
it.
now the focus needs to shift to Sergeant Lipson because what we're witnessing here raises serious questions about supervisory responsibility and command oversight. Watch this carefully. The suspect repeatedly states that he was struck in the face. He says it more than once. And Sergeant Lipson's response is essentially an acknowledgement that the strike occurred. But here's the issue that immediately stands out from a supervisory perspective. Where is the intervention? Where is the de-escalation? Where is the command presence that should take control of the scene the moment allegations of excessive force arise? Under standard law enforcement protocols, a supervising sergeant has a responsibility not just to observe, but to actively assess, stabilize, and manage the situation. That duty becomes even more important when force may have crossed constitutional limits. And this isn't merely a matter of internal department policy. Federal courts have repeatedly recognized that supervisors can face liability under Section 1983 when they fail to intervene in potential constitutional violations. The Ninth Circuit addressed this issue in Cunningham v. Gates, explaining that supervisory liability can arise from a supervisor's own actions or their failure to act when intervention was necessary. Now, to be clear, I'm not a practicing attorney. But based on established use of force procedures, situations like this would typically trigger immediate documentation, medical evaluation of the suspect, separation between the involved officer and the detainee, and notification further up the chain of command. But instead of seeing decisive oversight, what appears to happen here is something very different. Sergeant Lipson seems increasingly focused on controlling the fallout rather than controlling the scene itself. At one point, he mentions involving another agency, which strongly suggests an awareness that the incident may already present serious legal and professional problems. And pay attention to the suspect throughout this interaction. He repeatedly reminds the officers, "It's on your
Were you able to do a decent search on him? Or
Yeah, I got all the stuff on him. You can search him again.
Okay, I want to make sure he doesn't have any of your stuff.
Yeah, some of the stuff he has on him was
I don't. Stop hurting me, though.
Oh, I'm not hurting you. I'm just checking your
He's not
pockets.
hurting you. You know he's not.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Get your left foot.
Ow! Don't pull me like that!
I was setting you up so you could
Get
feel.
my handcuff. Burn.
I was holding your arm, not by your handcuff.
The handcuffs are too tight or what? You need them loosened?
Yes, they're tiny.
Lean forward. We're gonna try to loosen these cuffs for you. We got medics here to check on you.
No.
You said you were in pain. You're feeling a certain kind of way, weren't you?
Yeah, I guess, but...
Well, we're not medical professionals, so we have someone who is.
Can I take my dog with me with them?
What's that?
They usually let me.
Well, let's see what they have for you at this point.
Okay.
I'm going to read your Miranda rights, okay?
What am I being charged for?
Well, we'll let you know, okay? What right now is basically if we have vehicle prowl. That's basically entering vehicles without it.
Second degree?
So you have the right to remain silent.
Okay.
Anything you say can be used against you in the court of law.
Okay.
You have the right at the time to talk to a lawyer if they have been present with you while you're being questioned.
Okay.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before questioning if you wish. You hear me, Julio? You hear me?
Yeah.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before questioning if you wish.
I understand.
You can decide any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions, make any statements. You understand these rights?
I understand the rights.
All right. Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me? Or us?
About what?
About what happened here today?
I was on scene and I was looking through the window and for some reason, like, I was like in a dream, so I didn't realize I was opening the car thing and going through it.
Well, you broke into the window, looks like this. What did you use?
I don't even remember. Is there a tool that...
Yeah, there's a stick over there. Why don't you talk to the firefighters for a little bit?
Now, this is the moment where everyone needs to pay extremely close attention because what we're witnessing here goes directly to the core of Fifth Amendment protections. The officer reads the Miranda warnings, and to be fair, he does formally recite them. But the real legal issue isn't whether the words were spoken. It's what happens immediately afterward. The suspect says, "I understand." And almost instantly, questioning begins. There's no meaningful pause. No effort to determine whether the suspect truly understands the consequences of waiving his constitutional rights. No clarification about his mental state, despite everything we've already seen unfold. And that matters. A lot. Under Miranda versus Arizona, the Supreme Court made clear that simply reading the warnings is not enough by itself. A waiver of constitutional rights must be knowing, intelligent, and voluntary. Those three words are the foundation of every valid Miranda waiver in this country, and courts don't evaluate that in a vacuum. They examine what's known as the totality of the circumstances, meaning they look at the entire situation surrounding the interrogation. Now, I'm not a practicing attorney, but based on how courts typically analyze these cases, several red flags immediately stand out here. The suspect has just been involved in a physical confrontation. He claims he was struck in the face. He describes himself as being in a dream state. He suggests he may have been emotionally or mentally impaired, even saying he didn't fully realize what he was doing when he opened the vehicle. Those are not insignificant details. In fact, those are exactly the kinds of circumstances courts may scrutinize when deciding whether someone was truly capable of voluntarily waiving constitutional protections. And despite all of that, Officer Anderson continues questioning him and begins eliciting incriminating statements without any visible effort to determine whether the suspect was mentally capable of making a valid waiver in the first place. From a legal standpoint, this could create major problems.
Julio, you have a broken collarbone? Is that what's going on?
I have all types of problems, so I can't be really medicine they got stolen. I have no many. I'm to like just walk out and get as many more as I can.
What went missing?
My and then my mesothelioma.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it seems like both your collarbones are intact. So that's excellent news.
So far, all I know is his first name is.
What would you like from us?
I do not. Probably not. Yeah.
If we can't ID him, I can see if the jail will take him and just do a roll prints and photo and ID him.
Last time I tried that, they wouldn't do it. Bellingham has their APHIS hooked up machine thing. They want to know, I mean, if we're not, they need one of us to be in the ambulance with him if he's going to stay handcuffed and in custody.
Yeah.
We'll take the cuffs off him then?
Well, it's up to you guys if he's going to stay in custody or not, because if he goes to the hospital in custody, then it's...
Yeah, one of us has to go
right. Can you turn your camera off real quick?
Yep.
And then comes the moment that changes the entire tone of this encounter. The camera goes off. Let me turn your camera off real quick. That single sentence is incredibly revealing, because at that moment, this stops being just a questionable use of force incident and starts raising concerns about transparency, accountability, and institutional culture itself. Let's step back for a second and look at the full picture of what we've just witnessed. We have Officer Anderson striking a handcuffed suspect in the face, not during an active struggle, not while facing an immediate threat, but after the suspect was already restrained. And most importantly, we have the officer's own admission captured on body camera. We also have Sergeant Lipson, the supervising officer on scene, who appears to do little to meaningfully intervene or de-escalate the situation after the allegation of excessive force is made. Instead of immediate corrective action, the response feels increasingly focused on controlling the aftermath. And now, perhaps most concerning of all, we hear discussion about turning off the very recording device designed to ensure public accountability. Under Graham versus Connor, force used by law enforcement must be objectively reasonable under the totality of the circumstances. Courts specifically evaluate whether the suspect posed an immediate threat, whether they were resisting, and whether the force used was necessary at that exact moment. A handcuffed and controlled suspect generally does not present the type of immediate threat that would justify a strike to the face. Legally speaking, that is an extremely difficult use of force to defend under established case law, and under Washington state law, RCW 9A. 16020, Officers are authorized to use only the amount of force reasonably necessary to carry out their lawful duties. Personal retaliation fueled by anger or frustration is not protected force under the law. It never has been. Ultimately, the department reached the conclusion that this conduct could not be justified. Both officers lost their positions following the incident. But there's an important distinction I want everyone watching to remember moving forward. Legality and morality are not always the same thing. There are situations where conduct may survive legal scrutiny while still violating basic standards of decency, professionalism, or public trust. In this case, however, the legal and moral lines appear to converge. And this entire incident serves as a powerful reminder of why body cameras matter in the first place. They only protect accountability when they remain active. The moment transparency becomes optional, public trust begins to collapse. I'm not a practicing attorney, but the constitutional principles involved here are well established. This time, the footage existed. This time, the system responded. The harder question, and perhaps the more important one, is what happens in the cases where the camera never records at all.